The collapse of the MBA program could be the beginning of the unwinding of the higher education market.
Why? Say more.
I think this is the easiest one to discard first in an age of AI and automation and self-learning. And I think that, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about, I've young kids, right? So my oldest kid is 7 years old. I had to think about that for a sec. So many kids now. And
isn't it great, by the way? I go through this I don't know. I have to like, what's my kid's birthday?
Chamath
It's
has
hard.
like a busload of children.
When you have
I just had a fifth. So
I have a fifth.
I think I got
Wait,
Wait,
five.
five, and you're at 4 days?
No, I have 5. I can't.
Oh, you
I
have
have to
5.
really think
Four
about all
away.
the birthdays.
Fourth on the way.
But yeah, I would say, I think a lot about whether or not it makes sense for my kids to go to undergrad. And I think like about going to classes as an undergrad. Certainly there's the social experience, and I learned a lot in, kind of working at a lab when I was there and doing other stuff. But those were like on the job experiences. I do think that the social experience and the practical experience can be gotten outside of the college infrastructure, this educational infrastructure.
oh,
I cannot tell you guys how much time
I just had a
spend
great idea.
on,
I just had the best idea ever. The all-in MBA. Let's start our own MBA
No,
program.
I think that's the whole point. Is people
Yeah.
should get back to kind of an apprenticeship type model or a self-learning model. Everyone's got their own personal tutor now. That's what I think people aren't realizing. Is anything you
With
want to
AI,
learn
you mean.
with
Yeah.
AI? And
Have you guys heard
look,
about what Johnny Ive has done with his kids? I'm pretty sure
No.
they skipped college and they just went to work directly with him and his design
Exactly.
firm.
Exactly.
And I'm taking him out to lunch because I want to interview him about it. I think
Exactly.
that's such
should
an
have him on and
interesting.
talk about
By
it.
the way,
Because
your
I do-
daughters and my daughters want to start a podcast together, Pincus.
Do you know what they want to name it?
Oh, no, I don't.
I don't know if I should say it.
I don't know. I didn't hear the name. I think Chamath's daughter is in on this as well.
I think it was another friend's child who came up with the name. They wanted to call it the Nepo Pod.
Chamath's got a couple kids that can
I'm here
go on
for
that
it.
too. Yeah.
I'm here for it. No, I think Freeberg, you nailed it on this one because
I'll say
I
it
just
like- yeah.
had Arush Selvin, who's the PM at Google doing deep research on This Week in Startups yesterday. And this product is nuts. And they designed it to basically be one of these like $1 million or $5 million reports you pay for from these consulting firms that MBAs write. And it does a better job. It's more accurate. It's done in 5 to 10 minutes. This thing fires off. Have you used deep research yet, Mark?
No, and
Gemini's-
I keep hearing you talking about it, and I'm such an idiot about this stuff.
It's
I
on the
actually
desktop
asked-
only. You can't use the mobile. And then Grok
'cause I
2.0
asked
is
Gemini
out.
how to use it, and
It's only
and
on
it couldn't tell
desktop,
me.
and you have to
Okay.
pay $20 for it. And then Grok 2.0 is doing something similar. When you put your query in, it decides like all the second level queries that would be asked. Then it checks its work. So it's firing off a spider that goes and crawls 150 pages in real time. Then it asks questions about the data. Then it says, what's missing from this? So all the questions you would get from your manager if you were working at Boston Consulting Group, where they tell some young MBA, hey, you missed this, you missed this. Can you double check this? Can you double click on this? It goes and does those follow-up questions. So, and now you can do a cron job where you can say, take my research and every week do a update on it and fill in information and tell me the differences. So instead of just buying a Boston Consulting or McKinsey or whatever report, you build it and then have it and the deep research is coming out with this. It's going to automatically refresh it in your Google Docs and then update you on what's been changed. And Grok is doing it as well, except Grok has all the tweets. So when you use Grok now, did you see now at the top of the page, it says, and I think it's only in the Grok app, the dedicated app they just launched last week, it shows you all the tweets and it shows you all the web pages that it indexed for that query. So this is like putting somebody on a week-long research project. And like I said, it takes between 5 and 10 minutes to do this. And it costs a massive amount of server capacity to do these real-time, 200-300 queries are occurring behind your one. It's nuts.
I don't know if you guys have been using advanced voice on Chat GPT much, or do you guys use any
Yeah.
of the voice?
Yeah.
And so lately, anytime I kind of have come across an interesting topic, I end up finding that I just talk to Chat GPT for like an hour or two. and I'll be like in my car, like when I'm driving to work or going to a meeting, or I go for like a walk down to the coffee shop. I'm like, okay, so tell me about like what happened during the Ice Age with respect to how quickly sea levels receded. And I start to gather, and like it's basically like your own personal tutor.
I finally
Wow.
have a best friend, Mark.
And I think that basically you end up seeing a future where if people are put into almost like the real world becomes the lab environment that is created in a very short window and small amount of space in a college environment where you're like in some like applied scape, that applied scape basically becomes the real world, and you've got your college in your ear. You've basically got your tutors, your educational experience, your capabilities that you're learning, and you learn more in real time. And I think that that's what AI is going to take us to, which is basically going to destroy much of the value of higher education. And I think that this MBA piece is probably just the first step of many that's going to ultimately erode the value of higher education.